Learn how to mark a task as completed by clicking on it. In this lesson, we will use JavaScript to add and to remove a CSS class, allowing users to toggle a completed task on and off. In some instances, when you had a task, for example, maybe you've added some task to your to-do list app, visit the mall or whatever, and instead of deleting, you just want to mark those completed tasks as completed. You necessarily do not have to always delete every time. Also want to look at how you can add a toggle to your task list so that you can toggle a completed list or as completed instead of deleting it whenever you want it to be shown on your task list that you have successfully completed a task. And that is what we're about to look at in this lesson. So I'll go ahead and delete this and let's get into our code. So with what we already have, as you can see on the screen, we're just going to be using JavaScript in order to achieve what we need to achieve in this particular example. So let's just look closely to what we have in our CSS, and I'm going to be adding a style to our CSS first. So I'll call the class completed. I will just add a text decoration to this. Let's say line through. So to strike that task out to indicate that this particular task has been completed, and let's set the color to something like a gray. So having done this, so let's just move back into our JavaScript code and let's add it after this part. And let's add a comment and say mark task as completed. And to mark our task as completed, we need to make use of the add device listener method as well in this exercise, so that when our task receive an event, then it can fire and trigger a function that we run to show that it has been completed. So add an event listener and pass in the event that is expected. So you will expect a click event and a function that should just run once that event is clicked. So we just need our listing element, that is our task, and add a class list dot toggle float. And then what do we want to toggle? Remember, we just added the star inside our CSS, so we want it to show completed. So once we have this, then our task will show as completed once we are done. So that is supposed to be outside and not inside. So let's go ahead and test this. Buy milk. And you can see immediately I clicked on it, then there's a stripe through to indicate that this task has been completed. So going for summer, visit my grandparents, for grammar, going to school, completing my project, watch, precision. Okay. So let's assume that I have all of these tasks, and instead of deleting the tabs when I'm done with it, I can just easily make use of what we have achieved, implemented in this example to show that this task has been completed instead. So instead of deleting a task, many to-do app allow users to mark it as completed. And the way to do that is what we have just implemented. So we actually listen for a click event on each list item. So when an item is clicked like this, now, so once when an item is clicked that way, then this class list that we have set up here, class.toggle method, we use it to add or remove the completed CSS class. So that class just simply applies a line through decoration and changes the text color to gray, which is the styles that we've added to the completed class in our CSS. And then you will also notice that the delete button click event, that is what we added earlier, the event clicked for deleting button. Without adding that, it will be impossible to even delete what we you know have added in our task. And so this is very important when you have a number of lists and you actually want to know which of the list has been completed or which of the task has been completed. So instead of deleting all the tasks randomly, you simply can use uh, this marking task as completed to let you know that, oh, this has been completed and these are what is left to be done. So if you look at these examples that I just put on the screen, you can see out of 6 tasks I've successfully completed 4, and I was able to use the line through, the strike through decoration that I have inside my CSS to indicate that these 4 tasks have been successfully completed, and what I have to do left is just the remaining 2. So you can see that in this example, we have learned how easy it is to mark tasks as completed by using the class list dot toggle method and applying style to what should happen when a task is completed. So you can change color and you can change text decoration to whatever you desire to have in your code. So here are a few things to note about this particular lesson that we just completed. Number one is that the class list.toggle method add a class if it doesn't exist and remove it if it does. Number two is that CSS classes can change an element appearance without changing the HTML. You can see that we were able to apply the line through without actually changing our HTML. Number three, one element can have multiple event listener. And lastly, user can now mark tasks as completed or incomplete by just clicking on them.